That's when you accidentally leak.
So here's somebody else prattling on about this shit. He obviously doesn't know what he's talking about because 29,000 people have seen this post. The only things that are circulated now are propaganda, which means you probably won't see what I'm speaking to today. I'm going to leave this on here and then I'll play you what he has to say. This is what you should be thinking in terms of. Became a corporation in 1871, period. Citizens became debt slaves in 1913, period. America is the bottom of the trilateral city-states, and the trilateral city-states is in league with Israel, period. You gotta love that it doesn't capitalize this, even though this is now the earthly abomination of what you see when you look up at night, if you haven't figured that much out. But it capitalized league. I've elaborated about these things numerous fucking times over in the last 2 years, so you could go to some of the accounts that I moderate. You could find them, if just because I didn't tell you what they are and where to find them. And if you gave a shit, you would find them. And you'd listen to the videos, take some notes, compare and contrast, and prove what I said holds water. You're going to have to reason things out, because in a lot of cases, Google's going to lie to you. But what the fuck do I know? Here's what this guy's waxing poetic about.
You know what? I hate to say it, and I hope it don't go this fucking way, but we gonna.
Oh, and by the way, if we're gonna band together, we wouldn't be doing it online. We wouldn't be documenting it in a digital format, just to be clear. TikTok is controlled just like all the other fucking social engineering garbage, because this is where we were trained to profile ourselves. We were trained to carry around cell phones. We were trained to use the fucking internet. That's why AOL discs were free. That's why you got a free cell phone when you sign up for a plan. It's why social media is free. I just highlighted 3 red flags most people are blissfully unaware of. What you're supposed to do is prove what I just said isn't true, and you're going to figure out that it is true, and then you need to think about it. You need to think about it a little bit more, because most people don't understand these things, because we're being manipulated. That's why we have access to the internet. In other words, if you and I posed a threat to our masters, if what this guy's rattling off had any traction whatsoever, if it was feasible, based on what little people know, you and I would not have access to the DARPA internet, and he wouldn't have been able to leave this message online. If what he had to say fucking mattered, it would not have been circulated. Which is why you probably won't see what I'm talking about today.
I have to rebel. And when I say rebel, I'm talking about rebelling strategically. This is the type of shit that you do when you see that corporations and people with money are greedy and they just want to shit on the public. That's when you go into these businesses and you just wreak havoc. That's when you accidentally type a 0 in someone's account. That's when you accidentally delete a loan. That's when you accidentally leave a piece of paper out that you ain't supposed to leave out. You know what I'm saying? That's when you accidentally leak something to the news that you wasn't supposed to leak to the news. Now, if the American people really wanted to shut these businesses down that's doing...
You're gonna leak something to the news. All fucking news, all fucking media, all fucking digital formats are controlled. This guy doesn't understand that. You're not gonna leak a goddamn thing to a news agency. Because if you came there with something that reflects reality that would benefit you and I and we could use as a tool, you probably wouldn't see too many tomorrows, and or it would never be broadcast. And if it was, it would be bent. It would be corrupted. The information would be altered. Anybody with a brain in their head should know that these days. But this guy doesn't. Which is why 29,000 fucking people have seen this post.
All of this bullshit, all they have to do is wake the fuck up and start doing what they're doing and stop caring about these businesses and start caring about our motherfucking selves. That's the thing that they don't want you to do. They want you to be so fucking brainwashed and tuned into their fucking business.
I keep walking across the room. He said, wake up. So, wake up is one of the slogans our master has spoon-fed people. English is the phonetic reversal of Hebrew. In other words, if you record your voice and you play it backwards and you clearly say wake up, you're going to clearly hear fuck you. And that's why people were spoon-fed wake up. Because our masters are laughing at us. He just said something else which is equally fucking retarded, but now I don't remember what it was.
Businesses so that they can use you up and pay you less, so that you can die without shit in your pocket, so that you can give them all of your millions and they can control all the motherfucking resources. Well, what happens when the American people say fuck you? We not doing.
You remember what I began this with? Citizens became debt slaves in 1913. There is no American people. The Republic was put to bed back, during the Civil War. Because the Civil War is one of the finest examples of the Hegelian dialectic, blue versus red, conquer and divide. And that tore the Republic apart. It was officially dead and done in 1871, which I highlighted up top. And that's when the Organic Act created a phony jurisdiction known as the District of Columbia, which Google will tell you is the seat of government. If it was for the people, by the people, and it was, all things America, those thoughtful adults would have never created a phony jurisdiction because there would have been no need to create a phony jurisdiction known as a city-state, namely the District of Columbia, which happens to be the bottom of the trilateral city-states. Because the military-industrial complex, I'm talking about all branches of the military, yeah, that's the bottom of the trilateral city-states that controls our lives. The middle is Roma, the Catholic Church, which is social control. And the top of the food chain is known as the UK, aka the city. All of these are city-states, mind you. And the top is the banking financial district. It's where all the money goes. It's where all the money flows. It's where all the unconstitutional taxes go. You know how we don't recoup 100% of our labor because we have to consent to signing a W-2? Which means we're allowing somebody to steal from us, and then you were spoon-fed a narrative. Taxes pay for roads. So people call it our taxes. It's not our taxes. It's not our government. It's not our corporation. You and I are slaves. Debt slaves. Because currency is debt-based. Once again, challenge everything that I'm fucking telling you right now. Because everything I'm telling you right now is reality. It's what reflects reality. It tracks. But a superficial Google search isn't going to hack it. And if you can't think, you're not going to fare so well. And you're probably going to fall into the group of the angry villagers who assume that I'm wrong, based on popular opinion and belief.
And they start turning your shit upside down. And your stock price start plummeting. And you start getting sued for illegal shit that you're doing. What if whistleblowers just start popping up all over the...
By the way, people who know what they're talking about, people who are talking about facts, yeah, I suppose that matters because there's something known as truth, which does reflect reality. Like fire is hot and it will burn you. It's not propaganda. It's not a theory. It's not any of that other stuff. And there's no fucking gray area there because fire is hot and will fucking burn you. It's a fundamental truth. It's how reality works. But people are spoon-fed gray areas and told that there's a his truth, her truth, and a bunch of wishy-washy garbage. Now, I want you to parallel that with one of the most superficial things somebody could do under the sun is wax poetic about skin color. So I want you to appreciate this account. It clearly states, black facts matter. And this guy also abbreviated it because our masters are dumbing people down and truncating words. If you can read, you can clearly read, you understand how to fucking read, just to be clear, you could see that it says black facts matter. So there's no reason to say BFM. Because that's an extra step. It's also absolutely useless. If you have no context, you might be able to figure out what BFM means. Maybe. But if you have no fucking context, that's fucking useless. In other words, if you're trying to be efficient and you're trying to knock out, what would benefit you and I, you would never incorporate BFM. It would always be black facts matter. But I also cast doubt on that because no one sensible would wax poetic about fucking skin color because it's the most superficial thing you could do under the sun. If you want to watch the rest of this bullshit video, you can look up this account. But I'm gonna go do something else because this is a waste of fucking time, which is why it's circulated online.